Hi, welcome to Culture Codex. This is our first video and today we are going to be looking at the 5 biggest challenges facing companies and markets before 2030. It's really exciting to be looking at this stuff because it allows us an opportunity to problem solve and strategize and see what the best practices are out there. So these aren't things that I'm making up, they are mostly from the UK Commission for Employment and Skills, and we're going to be looking at them just so you have a quick overview of the issues on the table. There are 2.5 million businesses in the UK, which is phenomenal. It means that more and more people are accessing business, they're registering, which means that it's a market that is growing, it's accessible, people can start easily, and more importantly, it means that there's great room for improvement and customization. Okay, you ready for the 5? Here are the 5 big challenges. Demographic changes, increases in virtualization and flexi workspaces, new business ecosystems, increased digitalization and AI, and this one I'm putting in because I'm seeing reports from other places, greater demand from consumers. They want to know more things. So those are the 5. We're going to go through each one in a quick overview, and that way you have a little bit of insight. And then in the next few videos, we're going to be looking at more strategies and more details on how to deal with these issues. All right. So demographic changes. I don't believe we're going to be seeing massively different demographic changes, but I believe that we're moving into a world where we're becoming more inclusive of our wider demographics. We have approximately 648,000 people, I lied before, in the UK, and each one of those is unique. They all have different stories. 270 nationalities are represented in the UK, 300 languages are spoken, and 170 distinct religions are celebrated here, which is awesome. But it can also create little bits of barriers for us when we're building businesses. There's barriers to entry that we don't realize. But it's really cool because 1 in 8 people are coming in from abroad, which means that they're bringing ideas and education and experiences that don't exist from a homegrown British education. About 16 in 100 adults have a disability, which means that it affects everybody. And of course, the LGBT community are about 2.2% of the community, and they are across the board. You will find members of the LGBT plus community everywhere, from labouring on a work site to professionals, high end, and it's just really important that we are inclusive. So as an overall, I would say just be conscious and think about how you're interacting both on a market stage and with your peers in regards to education, religion, language, race and skin tone, disability, gender and LGBT. They're all issues that could be losing you consumers and love from your community. Okay? On to issue number 2, increased virtualization and flexi workspaces. This is both a great solution and a really big challenge to most companies. It's going to be a challenge to create great virtual culture, and if you want to, I totally recommend you head across to Groove HQ. They have a wonderful set of ideas out there. But it also means that there's going to be different hours that people are going to be working, which will inspire different creativity, but also challenges in how you budget your resources, whether it's how your pay is structured or how you create that sense of loyalty and strong relationship that you have in an in-person relationship. Issue number 3, new business ecosystems. So no man's an island, nor are any businesses. It used to be that you built a company and it was that collection of individuals that were on a mission to do something. There's an ongoing trend which is inspiring the sense that unless you have other businesses you can collaborate with, you're going to be a lone island sinking in a rising ocean. So we're going to have to reach out to other people who have specializations, which is great because it means we'll be able to make wider impacts and go to places that we could never do on our own. Okay, number 4, increased digitalization and AI. Now this is hitting a lot of sectors really hard. If you look at financial planners, there's a big worry in the industry that robos, which are artificial intelligence planners, are going to be replacing individuals. On the other hand, it makes it more accessible to more people. So that is changing that industry and the banks and how they're interacting quite significantly. Another thing that could be fantastic or challenging, depending on who you are in which part of the industry, is that there's now going to be nearshoring. By having 3D printed elements, you aren't going to necessarily have to send off to a manufacturer for resources. Now I think I might have got my digits messed up because we are at number 5. Greater demand from customers, which means that you are looking at people who want to know 3 things. That you are transparent and you say what you are going to do and then do it, which is awesome. Your moral codes align with theirs. If they don't approve of animal testing, they don't want to see it from you. But also it means that you are going to have to put in a little bit more effort, because it means that they're going to be looking for proof that you are investing in that individual relationship. So here is what I'm suggesting, that we all go on a journey that prepares for these changes that are coming in our society, in our industries, because unless we're prepared, it's going to hit us a lot harder and great companies are going to be challenged. We're going to be exploring a whole range of things in our next set of videos. We're going to be looking at business policy, employment law and contracts, day-to-day culture bugs, best practices as they are going out in different industries. So we might not have all the answers, but we're going to start looking at what other people are doing so that we can start seeing what we can implement ourselves. On a different note, subscribe, because otherwise you won't find out about any of the things that we are discovering, and it would be really awesome to have you along on this journey. We want to know your thoughts, your ideas, because on our own, we are just little islands sinking in a rising sea, but together we'll do great things. And last of all, go out and give one person a compliment or something silly like that, because we are all about empowering scenarios, and we love that you are with us for this journey. So come back again, but share the love.